Brazil are taking it over Argentina in that group.
I'm going to heartily disagree with you,
Ooh,
good
I
sir,
like
but
it.
that is later on. Right now, we got ourselves some Mexico and Chile action to enjoy. In the orange, it's going to be Chile. In the blue, it's going to be Mexico. And Coquita here, certainly one of the ones that I'm going to be looking out for. Bacon, 1.69 goals per game. His two teammates supporting him well, first and second in assists in that Mexico qualifier. But as we saw earlier with EMEA, the difference here, in comparison, of course, to those Asia qualifiers, is that a lot of these teams have not actually faced up against each other as of yet. And so these stats, they're great to look at in the microcosm of their own region, but now it's time to play it on the big stage.
That's it. Coming from two entirely different regions, it might not be as far as, let's say, the United Kingdom and South Africa, but it's still a good old distance with such a community behind them each. Mexico, of course, like Tom said earlier, again, overlooked quite often by the United States and Canada, but this is a scene ready to break on out. And heck, when you look at, ooh, that was so close.
When you look at, ooh, it does indeed get very fascinating. Also fascinating to me, Bacon, is the fact that we have here Pan, here Davitrox, but where's Raisbull? The answer is he's not on the pitch. We've got their sub, Flair, coming in, and so immediately that glue player that we were talking about, easily the highest profile Chilean player that we were supposed to see in these regional finals. I don't know whether he's going to be out for the series, whether he's out for the day, but either way you look at it, it is a big loss for Chile and a massive boost for Mexico.
Yeah, we didn't know whether we were actually going to have Puerto Rico versus Canada coming up first to allow time for that sub to come on in. But glad to see Pan here alongside Davitrox and Flair. Naturally, Flair, I mean, we have seen a couple of wonder subs, you know, super subs come on through in the past, but this is truly the biggest stage that I think realistically Chile's ever had.
Well, not to necessarily let all of my stats out the box before we get there, but when we come to Puerto Rico later, we have a lovely sub-story there which helped Cadme August win that qualifier, get themselves into the regional finals. But so far here, gotta say, a little bit disappointed in terms of overall goals. Of course, we hit half-time, it is 0-0. Pan, very happy to try and make me happy, but out it goes from Coquita, and a lot of midfield possession here. Not really too many threatening presses towards either goal mouth.
And you're saying you're a little bit sad about no goals just yet. I know one of our good friends, Danny Boy over in EU, is absolutely adoring this sort of like very cautious playstyle, because this has not been boring Rocket League at all. It's all about testing each other, because this is truly the first time these two squads have ever had to go up against each other. Throw in the sub occasion there for Chile as well, just to sort of work that one out. And it's not only about testing your opponents, but testing each other. Do you feel like you can reach that? And do you feel like you can reach that, Coquita? What a redirect!
Top goals per game in his region, Davitrox, and that is exactly why. Beautiful redirect to make Chile the leaders in this first game. 1-0 to them, 1:50 left on the clock. And despite lacking Ray's ball, they do not lack passion. Here's Flair now with a pop. Flair towards net, looking for that near post double tap, and a huge save away from Coquita. Here's Pan now, but there's Seb's immediately able to slip it underneath him. The ball just loitering in midfield, and an odd situation here. Flair gives it up to Ness. This should be Pan's, surely. He's going to throw that towards the backboard. Seb's forced back, and to the side this goes. Seb's, no boost. Well, anyone orange knows that, of course. And once again locked in this midfield, and actually this is going to perfectly play into Chile's hands, right? They've got that 1-0 lead.
You just said then no one in orange knows that, but realistically you get a sense of your opponent's boost, and that's what you see from the best players. Like straight up looking over at Gary G, that lad, when you look over towards the United States side, he knows what boosts his opponent's on. Same with JNAPS for Canada, and most likely anyone else. You can just tell that their read of the game allows them to be able to just keep a mental little calculation of what everyone's on. And like we said, we're still learning about these players like live in action, especially for Chile, for me personally, like with Flair.
Oh, that was almost the best save of the entire tournament.
I feel like a bad caster right now, just talking straight through that, but you do expect the save to come on through. Look at that, Ness was so close.
but it's ended up being Chile 2-0. And I gotta say, super impressed with Flair. You can tell that they have prepared for that contingency plan, right? It's so often the case where a sub will just be there for sub's sake, right? It's like, okay, well, if we don't have one of our guys, I guess we're gonna have to use this guy. But actually, it is so beneficial to train with your sub, scrim with your sub, make sure that they are fully immersed in the rotational style, in the play style that you're looking to perform. Chile, it does not look like they have lost Raiseball, and that is a huge compliment to them and their coach.
It is indeed, but time winding down. Chile coming out with a massive statement here. Like you said, coming in as the sub Flair, and to be able to do this amount of damage alongside his teammates, a little double commit, don't matter in these waning moments. But I sort of do look at this as a bit of an upset. You would think coming on in that chemistry from Mexico should give him a little bit of advantage, just have a little bit more confidence coming into his first game. But I mean, maybe I've just been sleeping on Chile a little bit here, Ireleak.
I don't think you've necessarily been sleeping on them. I mean, we know that Davitrox and Pan within their own rights are fantastic players. And as I mentioned earlier, Raiseball was actually, I wouldn't want to say anonymous necessarily, but he didn't stand out for me in those qualifiers. Certainly if you look at the statistics, that would back me up as well. But it's Flair for me, and his ability to, again, integrate into that side. It's something that Mexico can't necessarily underestimate, I want to say. And maybe that is the case here. Maybe they thought, oh, well, Raiseball isn't here, we're going to have a bit of an easy time. But no, you're not going to have an easy time. Flair is definitely ready to step up to the plate, and it shows with that 1-0 lead in the series.
That it does. Hopping back on into the lobby, though. It'll be game 2 underway. I guess a little bit of a safety net now earned for Chile, but I'm looking over towards Mexico. You just got to take that game 1, remove it from your minds, just come back on in with a little bit of refreshment, because that break was a little bit longer than what we normally see. Just sort of getting the lads, make sure they're comfortable in this lobby. 15 seconds already gone, and I like that connection there. That idea from Coquita over towards Ness, but Pan, solid in defense.
Another shot towards net, and another save put up, this time from Flair again. Ness follows this. Sebs. Oh, and that is beautiful placement from Sebs. It all kind of came from nothing. Just a simple ball infield from Ness, but it's the pace of this hit caught beautifully from Sebs, catches out Pan, and it's Mexico 1-0.
Well, I called out the play earlier already. They are now going to team passing plays, and that is something that I completely endorse. Beautiful little link up between the two there. Nice little sync as well. Of course, the pass can only be as good as the shot if you want a goal. There's only one goal here. Look at Chile. Pan's on such a drive, but Davitrox not the read that he needed.
Coquita. And now it's 2v1, going back is Pan, and he's looking to chase down Sebs, but it should have been Coquita that you're looking at. 2-0 Mexico.
What is this, Mexico? I mean, not really there in game 1, but game 2, they are now ready.
Oh, there as well. Look at that on the floor.
Beautiful little demo, but the controller from Coquita, who I was going to say didn't really have that pop-off factor that we've seen in the past. Coming into this game 2, he's suddenly getting involved. You know, throwing the ball downfield is in a great little passing play, but then also there to just charge on it. Beautiful little drop, but Pan, oh, he's been robbed by the post.
And this is going to be a very different task now in front of Flair in particular. You had a great first game, sure, but now you've got to carry that on throughout the rest of the series.
What a demo.
Mexico looking to play, and Flair immediately making good on my request. A lovely demo, as you say, Mr. Bacon. Chasing it, it's Sebs back into the midfield, a bit loose, but Ness picks it up far side. Forcing concede possession to Pan. It's off the backboard. Is anyone going to chase? No, there's Sebs again to put it off to the side. And that's going to be so frustrating for Chile. They're going to be hoping for Mexico to just push it out into the midfield as far as possible, but actually by keeping it close to their bodies, close to their net, they're going to be ever so slightly, not so much now, but ever so slightly eking that time off the clock with a 2-0 lead. That's looking great. That said, a runaway is going to make it a 1-goal game.
Absolute sniper shot from Davitrox right there, but look at this. No one's home, caught up in the midfield. Sebs, I mean, demoed on top, but that's just to rub salt in the wound as well. But that, Mexico shouldn't be giving that up. I have No clue why they were so far forward and just in really weird positions. A little slip up.
A little slip up indeed. They'll be hoping that it is not too costly. Still with that lead and maybe trying to extend it. Save off the near post. Combination of player and woodwork on that occasion. And down, that's loose again. And once more, Ness forced to go sideways rather than forward. Flair dunked down and a lovely demo from Ness. But Pan's there to clean up. Here's Pan. And Ness again ready on hand to block. Flair goes high. Seb's downfield. Davatrox, another block in the midfield. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be Pan. It's going to be towards the net. And Kokita's just about going to get their big save.
Yeah, the clearance as well. Not going to be able to go the whole way. Good stuff from Sebs to be able to keep it. Good read by Ness. And Pan's still going, though. They just cannot get rid of this blue ball. They need to drive downfield as hard as they can. Kokita's, oh!
Words.
What a read on the save.
It's keeping Chile in the game. Kokita. You can see Pan and Davatrox lurking, and that, Ness was very relieved, I'm sure, to be the person in that particular position on rotation. Ness again over the top of one, looking for that backboard read. No, it's going to fall down. Is it Kokita there first? Yes, it is, but well blocked again by Flair. Oh, and that's a brilliant pass to Pan! Oh, brilliant play from Chile. Tie game.
Just looking at this blue spread a little bit too thin.
That's such a great touch. Goodness me.
Is caught in the rotation. Notice Mexico, to break out their defense, are trying to impose a lot of aggression in their rotations. That's why they're getting caught downfield so hard. And straight up, Chile seeing that, just wait. Find that little crack. And that's when they dig in. Of course, it took such great mechanical skill to be able to do it, but ooh, this is really heating up.
Yeah, such a fantastic start for Mexico, wiped out by Chile, and now they're looking to be in the driver's seat. Davatrox. That's going to fall kindly for Kokita, and there's Ness. Lovely passing play to Kokita again, and it's going to go further towards the net, but it's not going to get there, but it is now! Sebs 3-2!
So many unexpected little twists to this tale. Ness throws it into the mixer. Sebs right there had two men looking to cover that net, but not able to reach it in time. 1 minute left to go, only one goal separating these two sides.
Ness. Maybe eager to try and extend that once again to a 2-goal margin. You can't ever be too sure with this Chile side who's come to play. Lovely control from Sebs. Beautiful control for Sebs. It's left up to Ness. It's left up to Sebs. It's an open net, and it is going to be a 2-goal advantage once again.
I don't feel that's safe yet, though, for Mexico. We have seen goals go in so randomly. It feels like, you know, there's not a massive amount of centers in the game. There's just big breaks, and you quite often feel that weirdness leaks into even more weirdness, where you've just got both teams here that are feeling a lot of pressure. Again, you've got Chile there that haven't really kicked it at the very top of RLCS. These lads still got tons of experience, don't get me wrong, but here they've got the entire world looking at them. Mexico on the opposite end have a very similar story. That was just an absolute bodying right there. 3 players, triple commit at net. But
Kokita was like, hey, Panini for anyone, and just 2 players for it.
Hungry boys.
Hungry boys indeed, and that is a fabulous 5 on the board for Mexico. Brilliant mental response actually from this team. Yes, you go 2-0 up. Yes, you lose 2 of those goals, but Mexico ready to put up another 3. Make that 4. What a statement game.
Was indeed, again, after losing the first, coming back right now. 6 goals to their name in this entire series, and hey, honestly, 6 up on the board. That is a massive break. Chile, I feel like they could be using the next break to its full 60 seconds to just talk this one out, because something has gone disastrously wrong.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think it's in the offensive third either. I think it's just in the defensive third where Mexico's asking more questions, and almost a 7th goal to really put that game to bed. It's sleepy time now as we head to game number 3, tie series in Mexico. That is exactly what you and your fans want to see. 14 shots up on the board, 6 of them converted. That is very nice reading indeed. Not just creative, not just accurate, but getting it past the keepers in the right places.
You're saying it's sleepy time, but like I said, with the weight of this match, the players can definitely feel it, but one's going to be going away dreaming sweet dreams. The other side's going to have an absolute mare. And I do not wish it on either of these sides. I just can't wait to get into the next game because right now, there is so much tension building. We're now effectively going into that very cliched best of 3
Yes, we are.
Fire League,
Yeah.
but I feel we're also going to be going into that very cliched sudden death game 5 because this is definitely a series that feels like it.
For me, it does all hinge. I mean, we call game 3 in best of 5s the backbreaker for good reason. If we see Mexico come out and put on a similar style of performance, if Chile are not able to recover the issues that evidently sprouted up for them in that game number 2, then I fear that we're going to see this actually end up with a game 4 dismissal for Chile. I have faith in them though. I would love to see a much closer game number 3, certainly echoing your Danny Boy thoughts. Let's see that defensive side of the Rocket League rotation out in force. We put another 5 minutes up on the clock as Mexico and Chile seek match point.
I mean, that's got to be why the chant "Let's Go Defense" is such a bestseller in America. It's because defense gives you a brilliant foundation to work off. I mean, we've got so many teams, especially in Europe at the moment, where defense is the primary focus, where you can just take one goal game, and I want to sort of see that come out from now, because we know Mexico has got such strong attack. Chile just didn't really have any answer to that. So either they need to bolster their defense or double down on attack. No one being able to intercept this ball, and Flair's just going to come on barreling through. What a setup from Pan.
I can't believe it didn't occur to me earlier, but very much the emergency Flair player, isn't he? Shoot up the SOS signal because he's back in town and he's got a goal early doors. And again, I love this. I really can't. Hey, this team do this and they do it. And then I'm like, oh, there's a little bit, a little bit of problems. Maybe you should do this. And once again, they do it. It's lovely to see Chile coming out nice and
almost
confident.
like it's common sense.
Yeah. Something I lack a number of times, believe me. It's rather worrying. Of course, Mexico will want to put plenty of common sense into how they respond here, but lovely close down from Davitrox. Going to burn some time off the clock. Pam first wins that challenge over Ness. Kokita out into the midfield looking for a find for Ness, and Flair has to kind of get involved in that, otherwise that's going towards net. The boomer back to where it started, of course. Kokita now again, just tennis match mentality here. Flair though looking for a double tap, and Ness needing to make that touch off the backboard. Seb's forced to go into his own corner, and Chile closing in on this blue net once again. They're looking ominous.
Yeah, Chile like this sort of tennis ping pong style that you talked about. It just gives a little normality, a lot more time to react, and that's really going to show that Mexico, with their chemistry, they can have these short bursts. They can have that really, really fast game working for them because they know what each other want. Sebs, that's so bold to pre-jump that.
We did see, I think it was in the South Africa-Norway game, the penultimate game of EMEA today, this unbelievable read of a shot towards net, like literally lingering up in the air, almost calling them on, say, go on, shoot at me. Go on, shoot at me. The net has been shot at in this occasion.
Sorry, was that you saying that? Was that the net right there? Because, damn, I mean, straight up, that felt like there was so much time. Seb's there, and the defenders definitely felt like this as well, where he was just trying to set himself up, bash it off the backboard, but no, Kokita to just come in and just get that little touch, the little sort of ninja swerve on into it, coming in out of the shadows. One apiece and coming up to half time, and this is really, really just showing that that game 2 was more of an anomaly, a blip on the radar.
Massive save from Pan. Ness was in a world of his own. Sebs to the backboard, Davitrox down. Sebs, right idea, looking for Kokita, but it was a bit of a tight turn. Kokita now looking for that backboard again. Here's Sebs, he's up, he's looking for Ness, and Ness is there! A calamity at the back for Chile, and Mexico take the lead.
He's definitely had his coffee this morning because he is buzzing right now, especially especially after that read from Flair. Dang, just to have the absolute stones to go in for something like that, to just have so much confidence in yourself and the confidence in that your opponent's going to put the ball there instead of a little bit higher. Because you've got to pre-read that so early. A little bit awkward there, but Kohita will be able to get that away.
It's a big risk-reward system, isn't it? Because with all three players back, that could so easily have ricocheted out and gone towards Mexico's own net. And yet here we are. Oh my goodness me.
Oh, how is that?
Almost, I mean, we talked about almost the best save of the tournament. That was almost the best goal of the tournament, easily.
Ooh, someone better call the police, because I think that's the second mugging for Mexico there from the posts. Not pleasant for them. I'm sure a lot of Mexican fans at home right now, they've got to be thinking this should be 3-1, an absolute screamer of a highlight clip. But we play on. They've still got the advantage, still got that goal lead, and they've got Sebs on the ball. But he's got no one to line up to there, EuroLeague.
1:20 left. Chile needing to find an equalizer. There it goes, but it's Sebs at the near post to defend away. Kohita. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Well, it was a golf drive and nobody was on the green.
And well, I guess the posts giveth and the post taketh away, because this is definitely giving.
It's placement, Bacon. Placement.
I mean, the Rocket League physics. They're true. No, that is how it does. I mean, geometry is that way, right? But you look at it and you're like, what? How? We'll take it.
It was an acute goal, some might say. And that's an obtuse reference. But anyway, 1 minute remaining. Mexico with daylight. And of course, an all-elusive match point scenario towards game 4, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Sure, Chile looking good at the midway point of this game, able to find a great start. Yeah, you lose a goal to Mexico, but still looking strong in the midfield. Kohita, I thought he'd taken the long way and was going to just completely fluff that clearance. Well read, and Davitrok's off the... Oh my goodness! I talked about calamity earlier, but Chile have been gifted a goal from Mexico.
Yeah, Moncarés moments in defense, just a little bit wide. Seb so unlucky with the timing, and Kohita and Ness not able to bail him on out. Mexico, though, do still have that goal in hand. They still have the advantage, but 30 seconds, and after a panicky mess like that, Chile are going to be coming back with so much ammunition now.
I love me some positive international relations, but that was a little bit too far in the world of Rocket League.
Hey, all's fair in love and war here, EuroLeague, and this is definitely feeling like a battlefield.
Well, it is certainly about winning the war and not the individual battle, but Mexico have gone a long way to securing that white flag surrender. It is going to be Mexico heading into Game 4 with the opportunity to put Chile away, perhaps more of what we were expecting from that first game, and now we need to see a bit more resilience from Chile. You get that equalizer, but you give up goals, and let's be fair, given how calamitous that second Chile goal was for Mexico, we can realistically look at this as a 3-1 situation.
We can indeed, and I mean, Mexico beforehand, face it, 6-2. We've halved it on down, it's fine. So you've just got to look at it now. Chile are halfway there to figuring this on out, and they can see that defense of Mexico is their weakest point. So they've just got to try and put pressure now. Like we said, don't worry too much about working on defense. They've got to for the entire tournament, but for now, you've just got to try and work on breaking down your opponents. That's not up in your attack. That's up in your midfield. We've already seen Chile try and bring out a couple of demos, a couple of bumps, and they're just a little bit too slow. And that's a harsh thing, because speed on the pitch is a sort of mechanical skill in its own right. They've just got to pick up the predictions. It's all a learning game, and are they quick enough to do the maths?
Sure, and certainly you got to wonder what's running through the mind of Raisbull. The man who's not taking part in this game, the man who we were expecting to take part in this game. Certainly for us, it makes the group a lot more interesting.
I think Raisbull's in like a win-win situation here.
You think so?
If Chile go on and win, they're like, we just got stronger. That's how you take it as the player with the sub coming on in. If they lose, Chile just go, well, we brought in the sub.
Okay, but you also want to get through to day 2, Bacon. And that's, you've only got 3 matches to play.
Easy, just, you know, take down Canada.
Just yeah, it's, you know, just as easy as just take down, you know, some of the most talented players currently in the world of Rocket League.
Yeah,
esports.
as much confidence as leaving my cat with a saucer of milk and saying, don't drink it.
That's my cat with chicken, certainly. But no chickens here in game number 4. We've got two bold sides. One with an opportunity to put it away in 4, and Chile with an opportunity to bring back to game number 5. Flair, good to see him still up in the offensive third. Here's Pan, though. Been a little bit quiet for me so far, and read well by Kokita. There's Sebs chasing. Sebs looking for that corner bounce. Kokita going far post, and it's a huge save from Flair. Davatrox to carry it into the midfield. Coming up massive, the sub for Chile.
Yeah, brilliant little read on the defense there. Trying to turn this on into a counter-attack, but Mexico get back quick enough to do a bit of damage. That's a nice little touch there from Ness. The pop-up should have been communicated for Kokita to go up for this, but this does enough to buy enough time.
Gonna miss out on that 100 steal, Ness, and this is Flair's to clear. But no one to clear too. Pan was going back for boost himself.
Davatrox is so out of position right now. Luckily, Ness doesn't have enough to really keep the pace up. As you can see, Davatrox is just crossing across net, but that could have been real difficult right there.
Still donuts in regards to the scoreboards as we hit the 3 minutes to go mark. Davatrox downfield. He's going to have to chase this himself. Picks up that mid. And Pan forcing the double commit here from Mexico, but Kokita left to his own devices. There's Ness again towards net. Good read from Davatrox to Pan towards net, and Sebs comes up with the save. Here's Davatrox again into the middle, and Ness again beating a Chilean player to the ball. For me, it's all about this race, and Davatrox is going to, well, I thought he was going to win that one, but somehow Kokita got a piece of it.
Yeah, Davatrox just did not have the boost, so had to move into it. So slow, but... Bam! That is incredible reactions coming off the wall right there. Pushes it in for himself, and then the second touch to put it away. And again, that push into the wall is just more of a taste of the quickly. Have a little look down to net. Can I finish this off? If not, I'm going to go through and I'm going to bump whoever's in net, you know, with the fall on to allow the second man to come through. So, what a play that was.
Okay, you've got to lead Chile, but now you've got to hold it. 2
Don't
minutes
get cold
change.
feet right now.
You're right, and it's going to fly over to the blue corner once more. It's not so much another attack for Chile, it's just a bit of relief. Sebs, double demo in the midfield. Kokita and Pan taking each other out. A 2v2 for now. Ness wins that one. Here's Sebs. They fake each other out. Oh, and Ness with the ultimate fake. No, Davatrox closes him down fast, and the clearance through from Davatrox again. He's coming up big for his team.
Might need a couple new axles installed there, but they'll have to keep on this bumpy ride for a little bit longer. Davatrox, what a lunge downfield, but this should be able to be kept away by Flair, but it's only to the midfield line. Pan with the pop-up. Flair, that's a good backflip to try and get under his control, but Sebs is just handling him. Davatrox is a nice lofty hit. Is he going to be able to beat Ness to it? No, and Ness pushing this towards mid. Flair's done really well to read that, but he's got no boost, so he's just lingering about. He's got no precedence over this situation.
Oh, that was always going to be optimistic as a read from Ness. He does well to pinch it into the ground towards net. Sebs away from net. Flares. Here's Davatrox, midfield. 60 seconds left. They would love a second hit, Chile. I'm not entirely sure they're going to get it, so maybe time wasting the order of the day. Flair towards net, looking for that double tap at the angle, betraying him eventually. Kokita out from the back, looking for Ness, and there is Davatrox once again, but Sebs towards net is going high, and Flair on hand once again to douse out the flames. Far post, far too wide for Mexico. Pan now into the midfield, flicks it away, looking for a bump maybe, a little saucy touch. Davatrox towards net, gonna go wide, gonna go back in. Sebs away, 30 seconds left.
It might just be a fragile lead for Chile right now, but...
Uh-oh, oh my word.
Ooh, it's one that I would argue they've convincingly held. Campan just works past Sebs, and he's done well to just body his opponent there to keep that on moving. Just 15 on the clock. Demos like that could help, but they've only got Pan back in defense. Kokita just with a beautiful little read. Sebs wants in the...
Oh, no!
How does he not wrap that on in? Ness just trying to keep the hopes alive. Davatrox off to the corner. Ness, he's got Kohita towards the middle. Can he get the redirect? No. And now you're going to see Chile just try and drop it to the floor. Nice, lofty hit towards mid. And we get that game 5 that we thought we were going to see. But, oh, boy, is this a stressful situation.
Oh, I am just creasing so hard for Mexico. Just an open net, the perfect demo play. The gates were opened for an equalizer, overtime on the horizon. But this is the high pressure situation that you have to try and overcome, Bacon. Mexico, they're going to have to do it in game 5. Chile, that was a rough ride. That was a roller coaster, like that was going high, going real fast down low, and then coming back up again. And they're going to have to ride it a little bit more heading into game number 5. I do not see them as the favorites, though. That shot output from Mexico, scary.
You're saying, though, that Mexico have to do in game 5. Guess what Chile have to do?
Game 5?
Doing game 5.
Oh,
it's an even playing field right now. No one's got advantage over each other. We quite often say that in a situation like this, Chile might have a little bit of an advantage just because of the morale coming in from that last game, but that was not a convincing victory enough. Sure, they were the better team, but we're talking fractions.
This is all the hallmarks of a very nervy final 5 minutes for these players here, where one goal really could be the difference. Ness taking out Davatrox, that's going to break down this attack for now. Flair, all he can do really is put it up towards that Mexico backboard. Ness over to the side, finds Kohita, but how far out does it go? The answer is not very far, and it requires acrobatics to pan that shot up and away. Davatrox. And Flair, lovely win from Ness in the midfield. Seb's trying to look for Ness again. Pan with the read. And Kohita just staying low, reserving that boost. Ness over to him now. Heavy backboard touch. Good read from Sebs. It's slow and requires a big save from Pan once again. Ness, a bit more pace on that, and Flair up and away. Mexico knocking at the door.
They are indeed. But no one opening just yet. And again, such a nervy situation. Kohita just not really doing much with the ball, but it was an over 4 from Chile. Because everyone's getting into their own heads right now. You might want to try and do too much. In a high pressure situation like this, Ireland, keep it simple. Sure, your opponent might be able to read you, but you're not going to make as many mistakes. And like I said, in such nervy situations like this, it's the mistakes that really cost you. That one goal where you've got your head in your hands. Don't let that happen. Good pressure coming on from Chile right now, though.
Sebs had to check up there, didn't he? That was a...
That's the head in the hand moment I was talking about.
The phone. What? The pinch, the read, the shot. Perfect. That was beautifully executed from Mexico with such a narrow window to execute it in Bacon. They could not have done any better with that.
That is a stars-aligned moment, and boy, oh boy. Mexico had the...
There's the second.
The telescopes, look at it. A second coming in, both times coming off Kohita, but this is just a great little outread there by Sebs. Flair trying to do too much again with the drop down, and great punishment.
So 3 minutes, Chile. What have you got left in the tank? It was looking a little bit nervy. Actually, before Mexico scored, I was going to bring up the idea of, you know, you're weathering the storm well so far, but you're going to have to press up the field at some point. Otherwise, Mexico are going to, and evidently have thusly scored. Ness in field over the top of one. And just so frustrating for Flair. Not much forward momentum here as Pan going sideways still. No boost. And none to find at the midway point of the pitch. That's up, and Pan had tuppence to work with there and did really well. Kohita, quick turn. Through the corner, here's Pan. And Flair on the way back. Pan not going to get too far. There's Flair with a bit more of a convincing clearance, but again, it's to nobody Bacon. They are sitting back, Chile. It's round the corner from Ness, and he's going to be stopped there. But Mexico just have such a cap on this situation at the moment, and they can't get too complacent. Yes.
Once again, another great read coming through from Sebs. Ness, good stuff, Davatrox, to get that away, but Mexico have control of this midfield line. They don't need to do any more. A double demo coming out both ways there between Flair and Ness, and Flair was the one who was trying to start it. Of course, they go head on, so both removed, but that's not a bad idea coming through Chile. Just remove a player, hopefully create an opening. But an opening's just been found, and it's Coquita with a hat trick of all things.
Absolutely lethal. You could see that Flair had already made that decision. You have to make the touch there, Bacon. It's not going to happen. And Coquita, has he got a scope on? Maybe, maybe not.
Some sort of homing device, it feels like, just ready for those.
But what we're going to home in on now is that 3-0 scoreline, which with 90 seconds left, that's a tall order. Doable, yes, but a tall order for Chile, who have not looked like scoring all game long. Make it 4 for Coquita, and Chile put away.
Oh, that feels... I mean, you're going to be walking over coals right now, Chile, to be able to come back. 4 goals in 1 minute 20. It's the sort of thing which you see once in a blue moon. With my career witnessed twice.
Okay.
Possible to happen.
Okay.
And what a moment it'd be right now to do it in the Inter World Open.
Okay. Kick-off goal. You take those. Find another. You're convincing Mr. and Mr. Commentator that maybe there is some hope for you. The kickoff, crucial here. And it's not going to go their way, or is it? Towards net. Ness with the saviour medal. Ness away. Flair, look for that backboard, and well met by Pan, but a little too heavy. The touch is right back in. It's Flair, and that was the moment. 60 seconds left, still not impossible. Or is it? The drop down from Ness. It's going to go high again from Sebs. Is it down to Coquita?
It's a big overcommitment, though. Ness is the only one back. Pan with 100 in the tank needs to find someone, but he's thrown it straight to Ness. Davatrox following up. Coquita, whoa. Oh, what a good clearance. Send it out further wide. Try and buy as much time for both Sebs and Ness to get back into play. And for me, that is game done. 30 seconds left to go. You can't see it right now. Mexico have full respect over their opponents and are just playing the defense game.
Flair again. And that is Ness all the way downfield. Oh, you are such a bully, nipping at the tires of the last man back. That's Pan. He's going to feel awful, but Mexico are going to be dancing in the streets. They win the first series in the Americas Regional Finals.
Oh, yeah, they're already having a bit of a fiesta themselves. They have earned it. This team, again, like we said, probably already in the mindset of going on through to tomorrow. It's not secure just yet, but this match had so much on it. One for the road for Flair and Chile. But now they have got to have the perfect rest of the tournament, Chile. And that's got a lot of weight to it. I mean, nothing's sealed just yet, though.
No.
Puerto Rico are probably thinking with a devilish smile that they could do a bit of damage here.
Is Reyesball going to be back in the team? At this point, Chile have to prepare for both scenarios, as we have 2 trash time goals, as our friend Supersonic would say. It's 1 more for the road for Coquita, who really was just the bubbles of this team when they needed him most. An excellent performance from him, a lethal performance from him, and a strong start for Mexico in Group A. But when we return after the